Welcome back. It's the Kovacs report, and we're going to take a look at Batman Hush 2. So it's Batman 159, the second part of this new Jeph Loeb and Jim Lee series, revisiting the mega success of Hush. Now, I did do a video for the first issue, and I found it a little clunky, a little lackluster. Art was as beautiful as you expect. So I was hoping that this second issue might get us a bit more moving forward into where the book's going. So we start off with Crime Alley, of course, where Batman's parents were brutally murdered. And the Joker is in Batman's car. Now, he rescued him from the theme park at the end of issue 1, where he's had his jaw broken and he's been cut up and tortured and scalpeled. And we reveal that Hush is the culprit. And we find out that when Batman, rather Bruce Wayne, was a child in Crime Alley, the first person to come and comfort him after his parents were murdered was actually Dr. Leslie Tompkins. And she's the sort of superhero doctor you go to when you can't go to the normal hospital, right? Anyway, and longtime friend, obviously. So those two apparently meet at Crime Alley every year to commemorate the murder of his parents. And they're having a little chit-chat about that here. So he trusts her. So we get the impression that she's one of those people that he shares things with and gets to talk to him in a different way than other people would. So there's a lot of trust there. So this leads into the fact that if he wants to save the Joker's life, there's only one place he can go, and that's to see her. Now, she's like, why have you brought him here? You know, I don't have the facilities. I don't know if I have the ability to save him. I could kill him in an attempt to save him. Why don't you take him to hospital? And he says, look, you know, he's not welcome anywhere. She said, what about Arkham? Well, he'll die if he goes to Arkham. And she's like, no, look, the real reason you won't take him to the hospital is because you don't want to be seen with him. Right? So Batman thinks this is all part of Hush's plan. You know, he wants the public to see Batman with the Joker. So he can't allow that to happen because he doesn't want to play into Hush's plan, whatever that is. So he takes her there. And also, it's just, I mean, if I was Batman, I'd probably be the same. I'd probably be the same. I would have let him die, but Batman is that good guy. He thinks that all lives are worth saving. So anyway, here we are. Now, he is pretty cut up. He's in bad shape. So she goes to work to sort him out. Batman puts him in an induced coma so that he's not awake during the surgery, and that actually helps keep him alive. Now, Batman falls asleep uncharacteristically because she told him to sit there and wait while she does her magic, and she manages to save his life. Now, the next problem is, where does he take the Joker? He can't take him to the hospital, can't take him to Arkham. He can't do any of those things because, like we said before, nobody wants him. And two, that's playing into Hush's plan. So he takes him to the one place he can take him, which is the Batcave, which is probably what Hush wanted him to do in the first place. So Batman says, you know what, this might be a good time to actually, you know, conduct some, not necessarily experiments, but some investigations on the Joker while I've got him here, you know? So he sort of scans his brain. He finds out there's sort of like prefrontal cortex acts differently, and he's trying to figure out, maybe if I can understand what's going on in his brain, and I can understand how he thinks, then maybe that's going to work in the future to either, you know, rehabilitating him or stop the manic crimes that he gets up to. Anyway, while he's doing his good guy thing with the Joker, somebody's broken into the Batcave and puts a gun up to his head, and after some sort of fight scene, you know, shoots a bullet and it just so happens to hit the power grid, you know, which I would have thought would be kind of protected. You know, Batman's got all this other stuff in there. You kind of think that the power grid would be somebody you protect. The power goes down. The emergency systems have got to come in, and they come in 10 seconds. So we can have this sort of silhouetted fight in the dark. And who is it? Who's the villain? Oh, it's the Red Hood. Oh, but is it Jason Todd Red Hood? Who is this? Of course, you know, Jason Todd has a history with the Joker. You know, he was, you know, murdered by the Joker with a crowbar when he was Robin, and Batman and Jason don't have a great relationship. There's so much story and between these two. Batman needs to make sure it is him and not someone else masquerading as Jason. And also, I think Clayface may have impersonated him in some other story. And Jason Todd was utilized against Batman in Hush 1. So a lot of information there. Anyway, the fight scene goes on and they have each other cornered with this big double page spread, which looks really pretty. You know, gun to gun. We know Batman's not going to shoot him. And Jason tells him exactly that. He says, I know you're not going to shoot, but you know I will. Anyway, he can't understand why he would have brought Joker there after everything that's gone on. And then we get these few pages of like, oh, you know, I loved you, you loved me, you know, it wasn't my fault, wasn't your fault. All this stuff between Batman and Jason. It feels wedged in there to try and create some emotion, and it doesn't really work for me. Doesn't work for me at all. You know, and he's like, you know, how can you save the Joker's life? But the thing is, if you've known Batman that long, you know that it doesn't matter who it is, he's going to save that person's life. So it's a moot point. Even after what happened to Jason, he's still going to save him. You know, I just think it's, again, just plot armor to create something here for, I don't know, for some reason. Anyway, it looks like those two are about to get on, but Jason's not having it, and he knocks Batman out. And then we jump to Oracle's clock tower, where Nightwing and her are having a conversation about what's going on. And they have a guest, a visitor, which is the Riddler. And he's saying, listen, you need me. Bruce needs me, right? And if you want to take down Hush, you don't know him like I know him. So, you know, you need me on the team. So it's interesting that a villain is now teaming up against another villain. So what story's behind all that? He's got some new kind of, I don't know, sort of semi-Frank Miller inspired costume going on there. Looks pretty cool. Again, if you're a Jim Lee fan, you're in for a treat. Classic Jim Lee. It looks beautiful. No complaints there. And then we jump back to Batman as he awakens after Jason unceremoniously clocks him on the head, and the Joker's missing. But what he does reveal is that Jason didn't come there to kill the Joker. And he thinks that Jason must be working with Hush. There's another reason why he went there, but it's not revealed. We've got to read the next issue. So again, okay, being charitable, it's not terrible. It isn't a terrible book. It's still very, very clunky. There's some scenes in there which I think are unnecessary, and I'm not excited about the reveal. This is it. I kind of like, I'm not invested in what's Hush's nefarious plan. I'm kind of reading this because it's Jim Lee's art, and I don't want to miss out on this mega event. But it's okay. It's okay. Again, lovely art. I love it when he does the flashbacks and that sort of sort of watercolor feel. Jim Lee seems to be a master at. It's okay. It is okay. But again, after reading all of that, the fight scene in the middle about it being the Red Hood and everything else, I mean, they revealed that he's going to be in it in the book on the front cover. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how I feel about it. I'm hoping it's going to be one of those books that has a slow start and over the arc, it builds up and becomes something really memorable. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours, and I'll catch you in the next video.